It's often said that everything that happens in life serves a purpose, but do we truly believe it? Let me share a story that might help reveal this hidden wisdom. Deep within a lush green forest, where the trees whispered age-old secrets, a young man came rushing toward a wise sage. Tears streamed down his cheeks as he collapsed at the sage's feet, his body shaking with grief. Calm as dawn, the sage gently placed a hand on his shoulder and asked, "What burdens you, my child?" Struggling to speak through his sobs, the young man cried, "I've lost everything. Bandits ambushed me in the woods and took all I owned. Now I'm left with nothing, not even a way to return home. How is this fair? My life is destroyed." The sage listened with patience, then softly replied with a warm smile, "Do not despair, my son. Whatever happened, happened for a greater purpose." The young man's sadness turned to fury. "How can you say that? This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. How could losing everything possibly be for my good?" Still composed, the sage said, "Let me tell you a story. Long ago, in a small village surrounded by winding rivers, lived a humble farmer with his wife and their young boy. They owned very little, a modest house and a stash of grain for the season. One year, a devastating flood swept through the village, destroying homes, livestock, and crops. The farmer lost everything, including their food supply. Sitting on the wet earth, holding his head, he wept. "How will we make it? This is our end." But his hopeful young son said, "Don't be afraid, father. Everything happens for a reason." The farmer, overwhelmed by sorrow, exploded with anger. "How dare you say that? Everything we had is gone. There's nothing good in this." In his rage, he pushed his son out and shouted, "Leave! You're no longer my son." Heartbroken, the boy left in tears. As the sun set, the farmer began to regret his harsh words. "What have I done?" he whispered. Suddenly, a rescue boat arrived in the village to save the remaining people. The farmer's wife smiled through her tears. "Our son was right. Help did come." But the farmer remained bitter. "We've lost our home, our food, even cherished memories. How can you find hope in this?" Weeks passed, and the couple struggled. One day, the wife suggested, "Maybe you should go to the city. Perhaps you'll find work, and we can start anew." The farmer agreed. He walked for days in search of a job. Many turned him away, and hope dwindled. Just as he was ready to give up, a generous merchant offered him employment and shelter. Years went by, and the farmer worked diligently. One evening, he heard a knock. When he opened the door, he stood stunned. Before him stood his son, now a grown man with a kind smile and a bag in hand. "Father," the son said, "it's me. After you cast me out, I went to the city. It was hard at first, but I found work, learned business, and eventually built my own company. I've come to bring you and Mother with me. I even bought a new home for us." The farmer, overwhelmed, embraced his son, tears of joy pouring down. The son continued, "If the flood hadn't come, and if you hadn't sent me away, none of this would have happened. Now we have a better life." Laughing through tears, the farmer said, "You were right, my son. Everything really does happen for a reason." The sage finished his tale and looked at the young man. "Do you understand, child? Life sometimes takes away what we think we need, only to offer something far better." The young man sat in silence, still uncertain. "But I've lost everything. How can this be good?" With a gentle smile, the sage handed him a small, glimmering object. "Here, take this. I found it in the forest. Perhaps it will help you." The young man examined it closely. It was no ordinary stone. It was a philosopher's stone, known for its extraordinary worth. "If you hadn't been robbed," the sage said, "you wouldn't have met me, and I couldn't have given this to you. Sell it in the city. It may restore what you've lost." The young man left the forest not with sorrow, but with hope. The sparkling stone in his hand had the power to change his destiny. Life is filled with unexpected turns, and sometimes it feels as though everything is falling apart. But remember, every moment, good or bad, is a piece of a grander puzzle we don't yet see. Hardships often open doors to greater gifts and hidden miracles, like the farmer and his son who found joy after tragedy, and the youth who discovered purpose in his pain. We must have faith in the path. Patience, belief, and courage are the keys to weathering life's storms. Even when all seems lost, hold on. What appears to be a setback today may be the beginning of something wonderful. Yes, everything truly happens for a reason, even if we don't realize it right away.